Hey everybody, it's Emerging Boat. I'm about to do another video of the playthrough of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. We're still in the middle of Cycle 3 right now, but my wife gave me a great idea of doing an actual behind the scenes video of my whole setup. Figured you guys might want to take a peek at this. So yeah, let's take a little bit of a tour over here. So obviously, let me show you the most important thing, the baseboard heaters over here that keep me nice and warm in the winter time, which is when I've done most of the recording so far. These things are great. Without them, I would be freezing my butt off, and I'm a naturally cold person. Anyway, we have the board game table over here. I could do a video on this thing alone, but this is my custom-made board game table. I had it commissioned by a local furniture maker. I love this thing. I won't go into too many details about it. If you want more details on it, I'm happy to go into a different video for it. But most of the stuff you are familiar with from seeing on my videos. The layout probably looks very familiar. You have that camera right there that is doing the main top-down view. It replaced my phone, what I'm holding right now. That used to be the main recording device, but I decided to get a little bit more intense with it, and I love it so far. Over here we have some of the things you don't see on camera. We have some of our Argonauts who have retired. We have Leocules there. We have some of our Argonauts who have not been activated yet. Well, you know what? Amorphos, maybe you haven't been activated yet because I can't pronounce your name. Did you ever think of that? Didn't think so. Yeah, we have our gear cards over here that we have to unlock from Combat Technologies. I just have them grouped by gear, so I can easily grab them when we unlock them. A bunch of our little extra map tile holders and everything. Some of my spare tokens that I grabbed from upstairs because I was running out of my normal ones that I use over here. But these are the little holders that I use to hold all my tokens. I have these little snack cup things that I got from Walmart or something. And then I am not a CAD person. I don't do a lot of 3D designing. I have a printer and I've printed a ton of stuff, but this is one of the first things that I actually designed myself, just a square with a hole in it, and I was proud of it. But I put some magnets in there with alternating polarity so they can kind of snap fit into place here and stay connected with some of these other things. But yeah, we have our little condition tokens over here, so I can easily reach them. This whole status card holder, which is pretty nice. I like it. It's sometimes a little bit hard to get some of the cards out. I've kind of figured out my little tricks for being able to use it, but it is nice to be able to hold most of them. Some of them have to go in the back because I can't quite hold everything up in the front, but that's okay. Some of the statuses are cycle specific, so we don't need them all at once. But then we have our little side table over here that has all of our terrain tiles that I have. I like to keep them next to me just so I can have them kind of close by, so that I have to grab something like my icebergs from when we do a giant glaciate with the Hypertime Oracle. It's easy to grab that. We also have our terrain tiles over here, our little terrain cards, so that when I forget what the terrain does, I can easily look it up. Our cycle books is our cycle 3 book. We have our cycle 4 book for when we have to fight the Dahaka, and then we have a bunch of laminated rule sheets that I got off of BGG. I think I linked these in a video at one point, but they're great. I just keep them all off to the side over here. Then we have my old office chair that the cushioning on this is getting pretty bad, which is kind of why it's been relegated to the basement. But I have a little glass table, or not table, this is not a table. I don't think you're going to eat off of this. A little glass chair mat down here that I have little protection over. I don't know, protects the carpet a little bit. And what was I going to say? The little mat prevents me from sliding around too much. I don't know. I think I've over-engineered this. I was buying things that didn't work, and I don't know, I found some configuration that seems to work, but I think I could have done it for less money. But hey, everybody makes mistakes. And over here we have the primordial sheet that I always like to keep directly in front of me so that I can constantly reference it, because if you've watched my videos, you know that I forget shit all the time. So having this right in front of me is helpful for me. Then underneath here we have all of the stuff that we have unlocked, whether it's gear that we have crafted already, condition cards and trauma tables that are assigned to Titans, and then things that can be assigned to Titans. We have our unlocked Argo abilities. We have our unlocked Voyage cards that I can easily just kind of like skim through these if I forget, which I always do, what things I have unlocked. And then we have our technology cards that we can craft. So I can flip through those easily too off camera. All right, needed to catch my breath there. We have my little stream deck, what I use to switch between scenes. I'm usually pretty good at doing this, but if you've watched my videos, again, that you know that I don't always switch between the Titan loadouts as I should, but we have just a handful of little controls down here. I always have music playing in the background. I know you can't hear it, but this gives me a little easy access to control the, like pause the music if we're doing some voiceover or turn everything up and down. And we have a little pause button. It's not doing anything because I'm not actually recording a video on OBS right now. See, look at that. I've even tried to set like, oh, let me see if I can, there we go. I have things, I have text changing to like show which one's active, but clearly it's not a good enough indicator for me. I need something that's a little bit more easy to see out of my peripherals. We have our little dice tray that I use obviously for rolling the dice. My little Kratos token holders. I think I've like shown a sneak peek in like a couple of the videos, but you can see in this lighting, you can see the little bumper that I put on here. Also, the lighting is crazy right now. The little bumper that I put on there to prevent dice from like getting stuck in the shadowed area. I literally just super glued something on there. It's like pipe foam insulation. And then I have my phone holder that I actually use for putting my phone in that I'm using to record with now, so that I can use that as the dice camera. Because like I said, we upgraded from the phone being the main camera to just being the dice camera. And now we have a nice actual mirrorless camera that we use for our main recording. So yeah, I like that thing. I'm still good. I'm not a photography, videography person, so I'm still kind of getting used to adjusting with it. You probably noticed in cycle 3, I am very frequently like changing settings. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, I think all this stuff you kind of see on camera typically. I have my setup over here where I have my laptop so I can actually see what scene is on a little bit more easily. We have our old ass iPad that we can use for playing the voiceovers. I literally have to keep this thing on the lowest brightness because if I don't, then it just dies super quickly even when it's plugged in. It's pretty bad, but it works for what we need it to, so it's good enough. My little, my Nietzschean card that I use for adjusting, when I'm trying to adjust the focus at the beginning of a video, I always put the Nietzschean card right up here and use my settings on here to adjust the focus level manually. Then we have a bunch of stuff on here. I have I'll do a little preview of this too. I have my music tab over here, but I have my home assistant set up so that I can like come in here and turn off the lights if I need to, because I actually need to turn off the lights in this section of the basement when I do recording so I don't have as bad of glare. So yeah, I can easily do that from Home Assistant. And then I have like individual light controls over here. So when you see me saying like, oh yeah, let's adjust the lights on the, so we can see the map tiles. What I'm actually adjusting is, I actually do this so you can see the text. I have the overhead lights that I have above the table are just hue lights. And so you can individually turn them on and off. I can change the colors and everything too with them, but I think that's more distracting in the videos than it is anything. So when I have friends over for game nights, we'll do a little bit more of that. But for recordings, I think it's better just to have some white lights just to make everything a little bit more legible. Yeah, I have my Mythos book by Stephen Fry that I was starting to read because I was like, oh, I want to get more into Greek mythology to understand some of the lore behind some of these things that I'm like actually reading through in Aeon Trespass Odyssey. And I got about a third of the way into it and I was like, nah, fuck it. I just like playing the game more than I like reading it. So yeah, that's how my brain works. I'd just rather be playing. We have our little Titan, my mini Titan stoa over here where I keep my frequently used Titans. And then we have the Primordial row where I have all of the AI and BP cards for our Primordials. So if I'm loading up a Primordial, I can just quickly come over here and grab all the cards from the stack. And then I have my stack of Primordial sheets as well, along with the story cards and Doom cards that we have yet to unlock. So yeah, I don't know. That's a little peek behind the scenes. I have other things over here. I'm happy to go into more detail about some of this other stuff, but I'm already getting to 10 minutes here. I sometimes just talk for way longer than I expect. I think you've probably noticed that from the intro of some of my videos, where I'm like, oh, it's 20 minutes into the video, into this battle, and I haven't even started doing anything yet. But yeah, hope you like it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to go into things in more detail if you are interested in specific things. But thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.